Hey y'all, my name is Cheryl Sutherland, and despite all the technical difficulties, I'm sure that some of you gorgeous people can actually help solve some of this for us. I am here, and I'm so excited to present my this lovely talk about about empathy and diversity, and how it actually supports you in being more in creating things that are so needed, and why you're important. So without further ado, let's get into this. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Do. Share the right screen. Awesome. So let's get into it, shall we? Yes, yes. Okay. So again, the context of this is empathy and diversity, how cultivating connection spurs creation in tech. And I think that you're going to actually really enjoy some of these relevant conversations. And there's also an opportunity to get you some like goodies at the end. So you're going to watch the whole thing because you love it. Let's be honest, right? So let's dive into it. Hey, my name is Cheryl Sutherland. If we've had the opportunity to meet before, great to see you again. If we haven't had the opportunity to meet and this is our first time, oh my gosh, so great to meet you. I do a plethora of things. However, my whole purpose, all of my brands are really about helping you become your favorite version of you. Of course, I've got my line of affirmation-filled goods, like if you like the more stationary, tactile stuff. I've got guided journals, et cetera, and have built out workshops and stuff as well. And then I also do some consulting. However, this really all comes down to the fact that everything is interlaced. Not only personal growth and me like doing speaking and events like this, I also do some tech stuff too. Oh my gosh, yes, multi-talented. I work with a couple different nonprofits, and we do summits, we do workshops, we do events around STEAM, and really bringing in and bringing awareness and supported people in starting their journey. And for those that are identify as those that could benefit the most from diversity and inclusion, we actually support them in making sure that they have all the resources, all the networks to really start building up the things that they want to step into STEAM. And then I think most importantly, believe they can have the things that they want. People of color, women have often been not supported as much in tech, and we have the opportunity to change that and really quantify why this is so important. So again, let's live our best lives, shall we? So what are we talking about today? So we're going to be talking about diversity and empathy. Like, what is it really? Like, I know these are a lot of buzzwords that we're talking about right now, and people are like, okay, yeah, but what is the quantifier? And then again, why does this matter, and why you matter? How you coming in and stepping up and being your best self is going to make such a difference in the world. And of course, it's like I love people coming to my events, and I think that my biggest thing is I want to make sure that you're not coming and just being like, wow, she was so entertaining, she was so fun, et cetera, et cetera. No, it's all about making sure you have the tangible tips to make changes in your life, to step forward in, whatever it is that you want to create, whatever it is that feels really good to you that you want to start doing, and create that inertia, create that momentum, so you take this next step in your tech career. Yes, 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 yes. All right. So empathy. Thank you, dictionary. Really breaking it down to the fact that it comes down to the ability to understand where other people are coming from, the feelings of another, and getting into the fact that sometimes it's the way that you see life and the way that you experience things are going to be completely different than how other people experience things. Think about it. When it comes to perception, the way you see different events, two people could be in the same place at the same time and have a different observation of what happened. Some might think that it's a great thing to happen. Some people see it as really bad, or, because of the nuances that we've had growing up and the people we've been exposed to, the thoughts of habits, et cetera, that we see things differently. So in practicing empathy, it allows us to take off the lens that we see ourselves through, we see the world through, we see life through, and allow us to pick up another person's lenses and see, okay, this is what's important to me and this is why. Now, this is super important, especially when building new products and services, because how do we create services if we are not clear on how we're serving, right? Like, so there's so many people that do need our support, that are waiting and willing and excited to receive what it is that you're creating as a result of paying attention to their needs. And when we're able to connect and understand on that level, then we are able to create really great stuff. Now, for, I guess, context, sympathy. So sympathy, and I love Brene Brown. If anybody loves Brene Brown, type it in the comments because, like, obviously. However, one of the things that she talks about is the difference between empathy and sympathy, where empathy is like you're, in it with somebody else, you're beside them. I hear you and I understand it, and like I connect with you and we're moving forward, versus sympathy, where it's like, oh yeah, like I feel bad for you, or like I also feel sorrowful. It's not really supporting anybody in moving forward and creating more action and creating more. So, in being empathic, you're able to feel and understand and then create tangible action afterwards. Okay. So diversity, right? Of course, we all pretty much know the definition of diversity and what it means to us on a day-to-day basis. However, one part that I really want to highlight is this last part that says the state or fact of being diverse, difference, and unlikeness. Now, really taking a look at that unlikeness piece, this really comes down to creativity. This really comes down to innovation, and the things that are unlike are the things that like take those quantum leaps and really change things for people. Let's say, for example, we were taking a look at one of my favorites, hashtag Apple Computer. Everything I have is Apple. And before, they used to be at the forefront of creating such new innovation. However, it had to take people that were thinking out of the box, that could see things differently, could understand and anticipate things differently, to really be able to create a product and then also serve people with it, right? So some of the things that worked really well was when Apple came out with like Apple Pay and things like that. Great. However, things that didn't really serve us very well is like missing chargers. I mean, it's a thing. So you take what you get. Like, is this really serving people? No, not really. So breaking it down, why does this matter? Like there's so many people that are out there creating products and services in tech that it can feel like the things that I care about, the things that I'm passionate about, or the innovations that I want to work on doesn't really make a big difference. However, in order to make products and services that fill real needs, create brand loyalty, and are responsive enough to evolve with the target client, we have to show them that we care and we can solve problems that matter to them. So the great thing is it's more about like building that brand, really building that connection. And of course, one of the biggest things is word of mouth marketing is some of the biggest marketing and the most successful marketing technique. So if you actually are able to build that connection, build that love with somebody with your products or services, you are not only able to serve them in a really unique way, they're also able to share what it is that you do with other people that are also having this problem or also having this dilemma, that can also, grow as a result of using your goods. And then, of course, as you continue to bring out new innovations, they're going to be the first ones to hop on, to share it, and then allow your brand, allow your products, allow you to create a really big impact in the world. Yes, yeah. So let's get into some examples, right? All right. So this is actually one that I think is hilarious. So I don't know if y'all have heard of Quibi. Not really surprised if you don't. Versus TikTok. So Quibi is actually this short form streaming platform. They were trying to do videos and content like mini movies that are like 10 minutes that you were just only able to watch on your phone. And they kind of came out with saying like this is a contender to like YouTube and TikTok and all these different spaces, right? They raised a whole bunch of money, like so much money. And they actually like launched and then they shut down because nobody was able to actually understand what it is that they really wanted. Like that they weren't really clear on who their target market was. They didn't actually ask people, is this something that I want? And then made it easy for people to access it, make it easy for people to share it, make it easy for people to actually get attached to their products and services. Again, who are we serving with a 10-minute video? What is it that, what value am I creating with this? Are you posing this like, oh, you're on a break from work and you want to watch something good? Like it just didn't really make any sense. Also, they wanted it to be mobile only. They were very clear about how they wanted it versus how people wanted to see it, where a lot of the the short form videos and like little things like, we've all seen Vines, TikToks, all that sort of stuff. They're actually able to go viral, and these platforms are able to grow because people are sharing them on other platforms, right? So Quibi did not do a great job at that at all. Now, TikTok, of course, before they were known as Musically, if you remember them, but they really understood who they were looking to serve and what they were looking to give them. They wanted to allow people to play with all these different things, work with different pieces that were creative as well, and make the stuff easy to share with your friends, easy to share with strangers and stuff like that. And it's very much a space where interaction was encouraged, where I could do the duets with other people, and have a lot of people see my content and then get the attention that I really want, right? But I digress. So that's where it's like we were taking a look at what is it that the people that are using my content need, and how do I continue to grow and serve them, versus I'm just going to make a product that I think is going to be really good, and this is why I want to do it, and not think of like, well, why would people want this, or how would I support them, right? Now, one of my favorite companies, I had an opportunity to meet Kai last year before the Rona started. And Kai XR is all about allowing kids to have access to virtual reality and allowing them to go on different school trips and do other things, because like using the power of VR. Now, this is really great because you can actually see on here the statistics of people that are able to go on, kids that are able to go on field trips are more likely to graduate high school. Of course, you have like a different perception of the world. You're able to, get this level of different stimulation and see things differently versus kids that are not. And then now that there's, Rona season going on, we're not able to do a lot of those school trips at all anymore, like, or even interacting in the school environment is tricky as well. So as a result of using her love for VR and noticing that like a lot of kids were underserved, she created this amazing platform, and is allowing people to expose themselves to new activities, locations and sounds. And I'm sure that it's going to grow so that, of course, we could use it in the classroom, but then also being able to look at people as they're living their lives in whatever field of work that they're in. So for example, if you really love, let's say, coding, right? Like being able to have a conversation, having a meeting, or even just watch like a day in the life of a coder. Like, what is it that they actually do? What are their projects? Am I really excited about this? Am I kind of not, right? So being able to check that out and step into it and see, is this what I want to do, and what that looks like, so that you have so many more possibilities to see what it is that you want to take on your next step, and gives you more ideas, different perspectives, so that you can connect with things that you really want and the people that you really want to serve. So how you can make a difference. Yes, yes. So find a need that's overlooked and fill it. So this is really important because it could be, again, in your community, it could be in an adjacent community, it could be just people that you're in love with, it could be something that you are just like curious about. You're like, oh yeah, I've never seen, I know for myself, when I first started, I was like, I've never really seen sticky notes with affirmations on them. I've never really seen like a guided journal that, gives me the prompts and, allows me to figure out next steps in my life. And then therefore I created it, and it's been really good ever since then. So taking the time to take a look at where are there opportunities for me to serve, and does this feel really, really good for me to do? Am I excited about it? Am I curious about this subject? And then move forward with it as well. Another great one is put yourself in the shoes of someone that is different than you. Again, where we live, and again, where you might be, you might have a different day-to-day experience than how other people do, right? So how do we allow the underserved markets to be taken care of? Is there somewhere that I feel like I want to give back, or I want to grow, that haven't had the same levels of opportunities or access to things that I have? So taking a look at that. And then most important that I tell all entrepreneurs and anybody starting off in a new endeavor is you really have to create from your heart versus from your head. And I say that because, and again, like y'all might be a little analytical in this room, so I'm gonna bring it in. But it really comes down to the fact that whenever you're starting something new, there's going to be a lot of doubts. There's going to be some obstacles. There's going to be some little speed bumps, whether they come from your old thought processes, whether they come from the scenario that you're in, whether they come from even people that really, really love you and want to keep you safe. Now, even within all of this, if you are not very clear that this is something that you love, that you feel really good about, that you're excited to give, that those little obstacles, those little, I don't know. In the UK, they call them sleeping policemen. So all these little road bumps are gonna actually take away that level of excitement, take away that level of inertia that you might have when you initially thought of a process or thought of something that you want to create. So when you're able to come from your heart, that is going to pull you through those hard nights. That's going to pull you through a lot of, difficulties, a lot of the no's, and then allow you to have more running time, allow you to have more stamina when it comes to creating the things that you want and bringing it into fruition. All right. And again, so important who you are, what you care about, and what makes you curious is so, 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 so important. This is, in fact, the birthplace of innovation. If we are not curious about things, if we are not wondering, could I do this differently? Could I do this easier? Is there a different way that this could come into fruition? Oh, what if we played with this versus this? If we did not go through and do the same things, then we would just continue to do the same things. Like we need to go through and play with some new things, right? One example that I always love, you may or may not have heard of the Wright brothers. I mean, like back in the day, they of course were the first people that were credited for formalizing and creating like flight. So like man flying, like kind of wild, right? However, before they did it, I'm very sure that their parents got a lot of like, side eyes and looks like, oh, like feel so bad for you. Your child is sick, or like they're attempting to figure out what they're going to do with life, and like I know, like a little delusional. However, when they did it, now we can see that that's commonplace. But if they had not chosen to change the way that they felt about that to allow that innovation to come through, then we wouldn't be doing what we're doing. We're not able to travel the way that we're able to travel around right now. So if you think about it, all the things that we desire, all the things that we use right now actually are all things that came from curiosity, that came from our brain. So in, again, following the things that make you excited, the things that make you curious, the things that you enjoy, you're going to create some really good stuff. So I know I promised you some amazing things. So actually, if you take out your phones, and I would encourage you to do that now, take out your phone, turn on the camera, even if you don't have a QR app, usually it's in your camera, and scan the QR code. Now, this is actually going to take you to get 10 free affirmations to boost your confidence. I love using this as a screensaver on my phone. I love using it as, printing it out and putting it on my mirror and just like starting the day feeling delicious with these affirmation. So thank you so, so much for having me here. This was amazing. And I'm going to be in the chat for a little while longer. Feel free to message me. And if you do have any questions, please let me know. You are legit the best, and have an amazing rest of your day. Take care of yourself. Okay. Bye.